Hi, it's the girl out there, right here with you. It's me, Cindy. And this week we are here with
Dear Diary. Just warming up for karaoke night.
I know, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We are going to go do karaoke.
We are going to be in an enclosed room
Yep.
with friends.
Yep.
No masks on. Oh my gosh.
I know. I know. I felt the need, like, let's get this going. I'm excited that friends are going to be with us and that we are going to sing off tune.
So off tune to really bad songs
Yep.
and feel like dynamite.
I know. And, I just keep thinking, like, all week, I'm like, oh, we're going to sing that song. We're going to sing
I think
that.
you need to make a list on your phone, because I always do that too. I'm like, oh, this would be such a good karaoke song. And then I never write it down. I never remember.
You know what? That's a really good idea. I feel like that's what we need to start doing, because it's Saturday night. That's our karaoke night. And I booked us in for 2 hours with the option of, if we need a third hour, we can stay. And
we will totally be up for the third hour. We will.
I know.
Nobody's ever done when your time's up.
I know. So I was like, yep, okay, great. We've got enough time. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So, yep, we are doing some karaoke, and it just starts to really, I know that there are definitely some not so good things happening in our town right now, but it does feel like there is some liveliness arriving back. There is some good things. You and I are saying yes. We are saying yes, and
are loving the shit out of February, just like we said we would at the beginning of the month.
Yep. We are we are doing that. Yes. And it's interesting because I think we talked about it. Jessica Serrato had given me a warning that at the beginning of the month, so she gives me a little reading, and she just said, just so you can be prepared, February is going to hit you hard in some ways. And she said around mid-month, which it did. Like, there were going to be some things that were going to come out of the blue, financially. She even said financially things would hit me, and I might question some things, and all this stuff, but just basically to remain solid in my knowing, and to remain truthful to who I am, and to remain, like, basically she said I would even question if I needed to do more training, question if I needed more guidance for my work. And basically she kept saying, what was showing up for me was that I already have the knowledge, and that I was going to kind of waver a little bit, and just to remain truthful in what I know. And when all of these kind of things keep hitting me, it's just for me to kind of stay on my path. And I think, and knowing that was really good for me at the beginning of the month, because I was like, okay, halfway through this month, I know I'm going to get hit really hard.
Right.
And I did, but I kind of knew it. And I've been so excited that that hit was kind of like, whoa, okay. But I kept knowing, like, okay, there's going to be a few more hits. There's going to be a few more hits, but I'm supposed to, I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. And I've still been like,
you've like your resiliency, your recovery is that much faster, I think.
Yes.
With that heads up.
Yeah.
Right. Which is why everyone needs an intuitive, like, brace yourself. This is coming.
Yeah.
This is how you should react. Yep. And like, how comforting is that? Like, it's not saying when this happens, call that person and, blah, blah, blah. It's just that general awareness.
It's just general awareness. And
so it's comforting.
It's still comforting. And you're in charge of your own ship, right? It's like I know how to, like, she's not saying, it's an overall awareness, like you're saying. And so I can kind of guide how that month is going to go for myself, what things I can do, all of that. But it was really, bless you for those who are watching. But and I think also for me, what has really helped, and knowing what fills me for love was preparing myself at the beginning of what will really make me happy in the times of, because I was going to get hit. So what really makes me happy is like blasting you with lots of love.
Yes, I have benefited from this hugely.
Yeah.
Hugely. And if that is the distraction that I need to be, then
Yes.
bring it on. I happily receive.
Yeah.
I'm getting really good at receiving, I think.
So good. Yes, you are. You're doing so well. And I am too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had our weekend.
Let's talk about my receiving.
Yes. Which we did with Aretha, who was on our last podcast.
Yes. And oh my goodness. One, like, just like the weather gods were on our side, right? To begin with, like we had this like spring, like sunny weekend. And I just want to go back there all the time.
Yes.
So that is the bigger gift, right? Is that the memory?
Yes.
Sometimes, right? Is that that moment that we
yeah.
Because I didn't get a lot of time to anticipate the excitement.
And you actually enjoy the anticipation. I know you actually do enjoy anticipating. So I know.
Yeah. But so it did evoke some emotions that I was not prepared for. The unknowing. I guess I realized that maybe I'm not so easygoing in those situations. It's the night before, you're like, just be at my house in the morning. And I was like, okay. I must have spent like so much time packing. Like, what? Okay, I'll just, I don't know. Is this right? I don't know. Like, I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm restless. Anyway, I knew I had nothing to worry about because we wouldn't ever do anything that we both didn't enjoy. Or the three of us wouldn't enjoy. But yeah, it was so lovely.
That's good to know though, right? For yourself, of like that is something that you, because I know that about you, right? Like I was so, that's me going like, I want to just surprise her. Yeah. And I'm terrible. Like this is for everyone to know with me is basically, and you and for like however many years, I give you something. And before I've even clicked send that it's arriving, I'm like, I got you a gift. And, and this is what it is. And you have no surprise, nothing. Like I cannot keep anything from you ever. Like it's like never ever. So I was like, I am going to hold this in my head and I kept it from you for like 16 days or whatever, however long that was, 14 days. Because I said to Dave for February, I was like, oh my God, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to try as many things as I possibly can and little things, whatever. And so like, that was part of it, was I was like, I'm really trying so hard.
I mean, it's no wonder your nails were a mess. You probably were just had to like gnaw on them, peeled them, just in the like, I can't handle holding it in anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
but we did some, I mean, which is, it's good to get out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah,
that's what we want to do, push out. And but yeah, I mean, we had the most beautiful lunch. Remember, we just like felt like royalty again, Prince Harry.
Yes.
And the most beautiful lunch downtown Vancouver. We watched the sunset on the beach, drinking pink champagne. Like, does it get more picturesque? I don't think so.
It really was. Like, I just loved how, and it's so great because we were on this, we were going to go one place for lunch and then they weren't open. So we went down a street to this other place where it was so interesting because I had thought of that place, the Rosewood Hotel, and then, or is that what it's called? The Wedgwood.
Wedgwood, yeah.
And then just by chance, you had said that place after. And so I was like,
the alternative.
Yeah. And so I love that that's where we ended up. And that, we just randomly walked in last minute, and then we found it was this beautiful setting, and it all just kind of worked out so well. And then you're just saying, let's go and look at the sunset. Like everything sort of went without a plan, but became such a perfect plan, right?
Yeah, like you couldn't have planned it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know how the timing, the weather, you can't always coordinate all those details. And it's relatively short time frame
Yes.
that we had, but yeah, we couldn't have squeezed anything else in. Like it was so lovely.
Yes.
But the pièce de résistance, or maybe better known as the resistance piece in this circumstance, was our spa afternoon. So let me set the scene a little bit.
Okay.
So Rita is driving. We've got one of those Evo cars, and she keeps referencing her phone, which is making me nervous because I cannot look at my phone while I'm driving, or I will drive off the road or into a person or another. Anyway, she's clearly quite versed at it, but she's like, oh, just keeps saying like, oh, it's still further. Okay. Oh, it's not quite in the area I thought it was. And we're kind of like, oh, we'll grab some food around where we are. I'm like, I still don't know what we're doing. So I'm like, yeah, sure, right, whatever. I'm easy. So we park in this random parking lot that has nothing around it. Like, I'm like, there's businesses, but they all look kind of like offices. And I'm like, you guys still got me in the dark here, like not following. And then as we approach, there's this I'm walking in front for some reason, which makes no sense. I think because I had my wheelie suitcase with me, I was taking up a lot of room on the sidewalk, and they're kind of whispering behind me like, oh, well, okay, if it's weird, we can just turn around. Fine. It's okay. I mean, whatever. It's okay. We just, if it's no good, we just turn around. I'm like, oh my God, like still not piecing anything together. And there reveals the sign, Shangri-La. And it's not a fancy sign.
No.
It's been there a while. Might have been like toll painted at some point. And we walk in to the Shangri-La, and they're looking at me like, they're very undecided. They're very torn. And I'm like, they're like, do you want to stay? I'm like, I don't know. Like, what are we even doing here? Like, well, we're having spa treatments. And I was like, yeah, I'm in for a spa treatment. I don't care what the place looks like. Like, I'm kind of hungover, and if somebody wants to spa me, I am all in. I am not in a place to make, heroic decisions here. Anyway, so I still don't regret it. Like,
oh my gosh. So
like I have no fungus going anywhere. I sweat. There's no way I didn't sweat out every single toxin that was in my body in the heat wrap, because I think there was a liter of sweat in the heat wrap blanket when I finally came out of it. Like, I don't know if any human's supposed to be in there that long. And the facial, I don't know. I haven't had any adverse reactions since.
With the paintbrush and Vaseline that they were putting on,
it did feel like there wasn't a whole range of cosmetics they were using in the facial process.
I mean, I think just to yes, like, so Aretha kindly had said that I mean, I didn't even know they still had Groupons. We got a Groupon.
That's what everybody says that I tell this story to. They're like, I didn't even know Groupon was still a thing. I'm like, yeah, it's still a thing.
And we must have driven I don't even know where we were driving to. I mean,
we didn't need passports, but almost.
We parked the car. Remember the guy had said, hey, do you see my phone? I think I got pickpocketed. Remember? As we were parking the car. And I'm driving like the shocked little like bunny behind, like, where are we? Like, this is not what I was thinking.
Yeah. Nobody's really talking.
We're not talking, like, oh gosh, I don't know. And we're going along and we open the door to this place. There's like a weird couch. It looks like sort of like a doctor's
furniture.
Office. Yeah.
No music.
No music.
Nothing on the walls.
And one woman for the three of us, right? And then I'm like, I'm sure, like as Aretha says, I don't think we're going to go through with this. And we both look to Stephanie to make the decision. Are we going to go through like this? And we're like, Stephanie, like you just immediately like, yeah, we're going. We're like, okay, we're doing it.
We're doing it. Totally doing it.
We go into these 3 separate rooms and it looked like the dollar store of massage places is all I can think of.
That is a great way to describe it. Yeah.
Right? Like you're just
the dollar store spa.
Yeah. This is the dollar store. Like everything in here has been purchased at the dollar store. It looked like I got the hot stone
massage.
Hot stones, which I think were heated in a microwave or something. And
yeah, it's very likely.
It was just lay down and then she just threw rocks. I was holding rocks and just, I think then somebody left. There was no music. It was, I cannot.
It was like a beeping of an alarm. That would happen every 2 minutes.
Yes, but then the best was when she came back in and then this pounding on my back, which I thought, is this legal? I mean, what is she doing on my back? And right down to my knuckles or her knuckles right at my wrist. And
your wrist. I'm just doing that to myself right now hurts.
Yes, and right under my arms. Remember when she kept going like, ooh, so loose. And
I thought, yeah. I remember you saying something like, ooh, like glass.
Like glass. Yes.
She kept like glass.
Like yeah, it was one experience, and we switched rooms at one point, but then I still the vision of me walking down the hall and the two of you sitting with your hair sort of disheveled like, and me then coming down like, oh my God, like what did we just go through, you guys?
Yeah. You just kind of had to put yourself in a bit of a zone. And the like, so you would get like one limb massaged and then they would use a paper towel
to dry us,
lotion, like, and they weren't there was 2 bottles on the counter in the massage room. One said cuticle oil and the other was a pump, like a extra large size bottle of a St. Ives body lotion. So I don't know which product they chose to use on us. Anyway, it was parts of it were relaxing. I do think I detoxed, and then there was a lot of wiping down of the lotion afterwards. So you didn't get any greasy stains on your clothes.
It's true.
But the wiping of like after the heat blanket, that wipe down was like kind of felt like a newborn baby, like getting the goo wiped off of them. Just like totally kind of exposed, but not. And you just holding your private parts. They're just being wiped down in this like fetal position.
I feel like this is something we will always think about.
Always. I was telling my mom, and like honestly, like the tears, the amount of laughs that experience has occurred in our retelling was worth it. Yeah.
And just the 3 of us walking down the street after, like, you know what? I don't know if that was right. What we just did.
I don't know. Like my husband said do you think it was like a massage parlor? And I was like, gauging by the 2 elderly, short-haired women in oversized beige t-shirts. I'm thinking no, but I could be wrong.
It might be, but we weren't getting any happy endings.
No, there's just a lot of sweating and a lot of oil.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we're glowing. So obviously they did an amazing job.
They did do, but it was one fantastic weekend, which will stick with us forever.
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was so huge. Thank you again. I know I've
Oh
said
no, thank you.
1,000 times.
So good.
But
yes.
yeah.
And then has just really like propelled you into like you've had weekend after weekend, right?
Yeah. Like I'm not home for the weekend again till like next month.
I know.
So
and
great.
so I know we spoke about it briefly before that you were comfortable to share where you were this last weekend. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So my husband and I did a couples workshop, a virtual retreat, so to speak. And yeah, this is something I wanted to kind of do for myself initially, and just a bit of a retreat to just get in touch with my divine feminine, basically. It's where I think I can say now is that's really where I'm at. Yep. And so I found this workshop online, told my husband about it. He's like, well, I'm in. And I was like, great. So obviously it's couples or singles could do it. It's just basically, it was about, just learning more about yourself, loving yourself, being authentically you, and how that can just propel a relationship into its best version of itself.
Yes.
And that's what I was after. I was like, we're good, hon, but there's always room for better. And I don't know if he agreed that we weren't at our best initially. But I think after spending that time and we can just working on ourselves together brought us so close. And really just individually, we both learned so much about, who we are and what we really love about ourselves, and that feminine energy, the essence of feminine and masculine energies, and how they dance together. They are so different, but how they do work, and that attraction between them, and how that unity doesn't happen until you have found that for yourself.
Yes.
So it was really, really such a great weekend. We got away from the kids, which in itself is always nice, but without that, there's no way we'd ever ask those questions, make those statements, dig that deep, like it's so nice to have somebody there to push you. And yeah, it was not, I think there was some worry from both of us that it would be weird doing it virtually, or that it would be, we would be going really uncomfortable places.
Yeah.
But no, like just that nudge of discomfort that helps you grow, right? Like it was so well paced for everyone and where they were. And so I'm feeling really, feeling a little different.
I love it.
Yeah, in a good way. Like even my dreams, like I'm a big dreamer, and even my dreams, like the tone of them has changed a lot since that weekend. And I can't quite specify. Normally my dreams are not fast paced, but I'm always trying to like get to a result, and then I keep trying and trying different ways to get to a result, and I end up feeling unrested. But these were not. Like initially they were, like in the middle of the retreat, they were different, but like still not like really, they were, I think, really maybe shadow dreams. And now I'm just like, oh, it's like there's this calmness in them.
I love it.
So yeah, did my own self work with my husband by my side.
Yes.
Felt so, I was worried it would be a bit uncomfortable, but it was so comforting. And
I think that's like and thank you for sharing. I think that's what we don't think that that's what we're supposed to do, right? Unless it's that we're working together on a project, or it's something that we're supposed to be doing, but really ultimately,
or that something's broken,
or it's broken. Yes.
Right.
And it's what I've said when with a person, and but I think this actually sometimes scares people, men I'm with, but when it's starting to grow, I have said, my desire is that we actually have a counselor from the very beginning. And I've said, you know what, no matter what, if you're with somebody at this point, I feel that it's healthy to have a third party always with you, not like every week, but that somebody that because because you and I are, I'm going to say this just because of who you and I are, we are straight. So male perspective, female perspective in our point of view, but we hear things differently, right? And so even two females probably hear things differently, but in the straight mind is the way I'm saying it now, just if there's listeners out there, to have a third person say, how are you hearing what she's saying? How are you hearing what he's saying? How are you both taking that? Take that away for a little while. How is that coming from where you've both been? Because I know for myself that when I'm with a person and I'm like, oh, he said this, and I'm bringing with me all my crap, right?
Absolutely. The baggage that comes from everything else
in my whole life.
Yeah.
And my parents and their parents and So to have somebody else say like, whoa, no, he actually just said he wanted to make a cake or something, right?
Yes.
And so having a person with you can actually support your relationship further. That can scare people because they think you're saying they're broken, but you're not.
No, it's a really healthy
thing
to do. It prevents you from the unlearning you're going to have to do down the road. I think it's a lot harder to unlearn than it is to be aware of it from the beginning, right?
Yeah. So I think what you've just done is expanded you in a way where like it's so exciting. Like, it's like you've taken this, a relationship, which I know is so solid and so like great. It's like, it's just now gone to a level of, oh my God. Right.
Yeah.
Like, how incredible.
Why do you not want to do that? Right.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, because it's not comfortable.
Yes.
Right. You have to get a little bit uncomfortable. And that's the big thing, is you have to be willing.
Yes.
To it's gonna pay back in spades if you do it, but you gotta just like dip the toe in, right? And that's scary for a lot of people. And I don't know if I was ready for it before now either, right? I mean, just timing and kids and careers and whatever. So I feel proud of myself, actually.
So proud.
But now just really, like basking in the joy of the work.
And really, really proud of Dave too, or your husband. Like, really impressive for person to hear what you wanted to do, stand beside you, but also do it for themselves. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. And it's a tough thing for a lot of guys, right?
Yes.
Seeking help means I'm not a man or whatever, all that crap. So I think it just shows so much masculinity and courage and bravery. Yeah, to just show up.
I know. Yeah. It's like I say now, right? Like, and it's like I say right now, like all the men, right, who I like, when they're like ready to talk, you're like, oh, hello, right?
Hello. So attractive.
Yes.
That humanness, that vulnerability is what just connects us.
Yes.
Right? The vulnerability is the connection.
Yes.
So great.
So
there is a very busy spirit.
I know. Did you just see it?
I've seen it several times before we turn the cameras on, and
it's really crazy. And it's just like, oh, that, like, as soon as I just said that, like that was really, I'm just
a crowd here tonight, folks. We've got a crowd this morning, or whenever you're hearing this. Yeah, there's this little ball of light that just is loving Cindy right now.
A lot.
All over.
And just feeling it, it's a
Oh yeah, okay. Describe the feeling for me. Describe it for those of us that don't get to feel that.
It's the same even when like I feel a rush, like it comes from like the top of my head, and then I just get like, whoa, and then I can feel it. Like I can feel it in my cheeks, I can feel it in my body, and then I can get certain tastes. So at certain points, I just can feel it, and it just like my whole body starts to vibrate.
So it's a vibration.
Yes.
Initially, or it just feels like movement and then vibration.
It can feel like almost like a chill, or like I can't really, but then it's just this like, yeah, like a subtle vibration. And then at certain points I'll feel like I'll get a taste of like a flower, or I'll get a taste of, like something. Like right now I just got it again, like a strong taste of flower in my mouth.
It's all in the flowers.
I know.
Always in the flowers.
I know. But right now,
get to know your flowers better. I bet you'll be able to like distinctly taste.
I know, that's what, yeah, that'll be interesting to see, right?
Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can get any more attuned to where you are right now, but.
Well, what was interesting, I feel definitely that there's so much, I know there's so much further I can go. I know that I think I'm still too busy. But it was interesting because I was doing a session for a woman, and I know she'll be fine with me saying this. She lives across the water. She wanted to book a trip to Ireland. And so I said, yeah, sure, whatever. And then we'd finished the session. Mm-hmm. And then it was so fun. She said, should I book the trip today? And I said, yes, book the trip, whatever. And it was like an hour later, and I was like, May 12th. And so I sent her a note, and I said, are you booking to come back May 12th or something? And she said, I'm booking right now, May 12th, to return home. I was like, oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Like, so sorry, I have to tune in more.
Well, you also need to slow down. So I don't know what the balance is there.
I know. I feel like I have to slow down on other things.
Right. Like running a household, being a full-time taxi driver, and laundry folder, and toilet cleaner.
Right. All those things. Then I can just sit here.
Lovely things.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And just sit here and be like, what does she need? May 12th. What does she need? This, that, what that. I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You see that? Oh,
see? And again.
Oh, see?
Is it more than one?
Yes. See, this is what this is so exciting. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm just supposed to sit here.
Yes. Finally, she heard us.
That is so crazy. Right here on the podcast. It is unbelievable if you see it like that.
Yeah. Okay. This is definitely watchable video. If anybody's wondered what it's like.
Oh, and I get really hot. So right now, really hot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so if you are not on a camera, can you still see the light balls flying around?
No, it's just, see, like now it's like a prickle all the way up my back. There. So we're just doing this.
What the funk? Okay, I have no words right now. So sorry, I don't know if you answered my question. I was distracted by the prickles up your back, as I think maybe you are right now. Maybe I just need to take over. It's now the Dear Diary podcast. She needs a minute. There are hella spirits trying to talk to Cindy right now. She is otherwise unavailable.
Yeah. Wow.
With full on sweat and
Yes.
prickles.
It's a lot right now. This is a lot. Maybe this is just
okay. Yeah. Well, clearly the topic is on point. So
yes.
listen to this.
Okay. Yeah. So apparently, I guess, I mean, that's what we could probably ask. Like, we could just be asking the question, like, should I just be focusing on doing this work? Right? Yes.
Yeah. You really don't need the intuitive. I think but thank you, Jessica, for jumping in and making my Prince Harry this month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loving the shit out of Prince Harry this month.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Heck
yeah.
Yeah.
That's our exciting bit.
We went into this month with a lot of hope.
Yes.
And I think we're okay. Like, I feel like January we went in with a lot of hope too, and it just threw us back a shit sandwich. And so I feel like, we're almost through the month now, or at least by the time this podcast airs, it feels like we really made the best of it.
We made the best. And you know what? Come March, I'm giving everybody their individual readings in Bliss Space. So that's going to be exciting, right? That's like,
I think we just need to clarify this a little bit more, that membership to Bliss Space now includes.
Yes. So the membership to Bliss Space now includes that. And starting next weekend, because that's when I'm going to be giving it to everybody, we finally have the app approval, which takes a long time for people to approve.
You're a big deal. You can't let anybody out there have an app.
What is going on with this? But the app will finally be ready for March 1st. And in it, because everybody, we really are trying to take a review of what people like and what they don't like. And even on the last Zoom, which you weren't there, but it was really good listening to people. And sorry, I'm segueing a little bit, but I think this is important. There were 7 of us on that last Zoom, just the night. It was still a great group. They were talking about the pressure that they put on themselves with the dream book and with the journaling, and with that they were feeling that they were behind because they hadn't done it.
Yeah.
And so that made them feel like they weren't accomplishing, all this stuff came into for them. And I said, oh, you know what? Like, it's interesting because that's not my personality. I'm wanting to give you more. So you have options and opportunity and things that, just so that just so there it is again. Just so you have ideas, but I would never want people to feel that is for them to do, just ideas for you to have. So that conversation together, everyone was like, oh, I feel good knowing that other people aren't doing it too. And just knowing we have this community space together to talk. And in the Zooms, we were talking about manifestation. We were talking about, beautiful letters you could write if you're grieving something, like great conversation out of the Zoom, right? Mm-hmm. So you realize how important those Zooms can actually be.
Oh, yeah. The connection.
The connections, right?
Like you talked about last week, like we all just need connection.
We need the connection. So that's the most. So then I'd said, you will still get the journaling. March is all about inner strength. It's finding inner strength for yourself. That's the theme. What inner strength means to each one. But so you'll still get that, and a small dream book with your habit tracker. So no matter what, everyone's getting that, as you always do. But it won't be as much, so people don't feel the need of the documentation. So that'll be for everyone. You'll still get your meditations, 3 new meditations. So now if you book in, you'll have like 6 meditations. And I know you like the meditations. They're great. Yeah. But then what I thought was and this is through having conversations with you, is what you always say, people want, I mean, this sounds egotistical. I don't mean it to be, but you say,
well, I'm the one who said it. So just blame it on me. I'm totally.
You were like, people want Cindy. Like, that's what they're after. So I'm like, well, why do I keep trying to make it like everybody else is? I should make it then what people are wanting.
And also people crave knowing specifically about themselves.
Well, yes. So that's
what I mean. And that's what I like when I say they crave you, it's like, because you are specifically talking, when you specifically talk to them.
Yeah. Yes.
You're like, oh my gosh, I won the lottery. She specifically talked to me. I got right? Like I talk to the intuitive, right?
Yes. So it's not that they're, yes. So I want to make it more individual. So each person, so I will individually write for each person and each person will get, how it's going to go, whether it's a voice memo or a video. We just don't know based on how it's going to send to the person. Right. But I will individually write for each person for a forecast for their week or for their month. And they will get it just how I have one. And I see the impact of that. So I will write for you. It'll just be given to you. And then you'll have a forecast for your month.
Can we remind people how much this is?
$35 for the whole month.
Like, I am sorry, but this is the best. This is the Groupon. I mean, you are basically the Groupon, but so much quality, way better quality than the Shangri-La. And I just have to say that this is like, honestly, you get a forecast for your month.
Yeah.
Plus meditations, plus worksheets, plus
and Zooms calls,
and Zoom calls. So you're going to connect to your community, a community you've maybe never talked to before.
Yes.
I just can't sell this enough. And even if
your daily morning texts.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that you get this lovely little note in the morning that could totally change the trajectory of your day.
Yes.
It's just, like I said, can't sell it enough. Regardless of our friendship status, even if I weren't in a friendship wedding with you, in a friendship marriage with you, yeah, I'd be totally talking about this, being like, everybody got to do it. So
you think, you know what, I look at it and think, for the number, I mean, we were downtown yesterday, the boys and I was like, that's a lot of money for one shirt. Like the investment for that. And I think, oh, you know what, this really, and I know I'm selling myself on this one, but it really, it is something that you could try it for a month, or try it, come in for a month, go out, try it. But I have seen it grow over and over and over each month, and more people coming in and what they get out of it. And it's such a fun space where people are loving it. So come and try it, give it a go. You're going to get a download, you're going to get some information. So I'm excited. Yeah, no, it's a crazy good deal. I'm excited. Yeah. Like I said to you, I was like, I talk to you every single day, and I am like so pumped for my download. I know. I'm really excited to see what your download's going to be too. I'm like, I wonder what it's going to be.
Gosh,
I know.
Yeah, stoked.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think just because I know how on point you are, it'll be like, I know. So I get it that for people who aren't used to talking to somebody, in that spiritual energy, this is probably out of your comfort zone, but do it. Like, just try it. Like, what do you got to lose? $35?
Yeah.
What is that? That's like a dinner, maybe, even without wine. So basically nothing. $1 plus a day, basically free. So.
And what it can change for your life. Like, you look at your weekend retreat, right? Like it's how we can, these things that, at first you're like, oh, that's a lot of money or whatever. But then you think, well, or what? Like,
it's investment.
It's investment.
Investment in future you, in better you, in spiritual you.
Yes.
Which how can you go wrong?
Yes.
You can't. It's impossible. All right. Well, we think you need to put your spirits to bed. They look.
I know. We all gotta go to sleep. Night over here.
Holy cow. Take a rest, spirits. She's hot. No, I know you love it.
So fun.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. Well, see you later. Love ya.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye.